what they're actually doing is harmful. They are creating harm. They are harassing and bullying, and they are abhorrent. It is absolutely gross. And I sat there and thought to myself, these people have the audacity to do this. They sit there for half an hour talking, saying nothing. There is no substance. You are not saying anything. You're just being a bully.
Just a bully? Nothing of substance? So I guess math, science, physics, psychology, that's not substance. No, what you are pitching is complete substance. But before I interject, I'll let you continue your rant against us.
In the most random way, my little face on a YouTube thumbnail of one of these horrific people, these disgusting human beings who like to take our content and the voices of marginalized people. They like to take that content and edit it and splice it into something that furthers their narrative, something that misrepresents us, it discredits us, it makes us seem as if we are ignorant. They further that narrative, they uphold systems that we are fighting against, and they have thousands, tens of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers, people watching these videos, commenting, engaging. And they do this under the guise of being sassy and sharing their opinions, which is not the word that I would use to describe her. And what they're actually doing is harmful. They are creating harm. They are harassing and bullying, and they are abhorrent. It is absolutely gross. And I sat there and thought to myself, these people have the audacity to do this. They sit there for half an hour talking, saying nothing. There is no substance. You are not saying anything. You're just being a bully.
So, speaking the truth is considered doing harm? I'm sorry, but what you are doing is called enablement. All the pushes for size inclusivity is overeating enablement. We are preventing people from getting better by pushing all of this inclusivity, because the inclusivity is not empowerment, it's enablement, people. Open your eyes. So she thinks that we're just a bunch of bullies and have no substance. Well, let's look at an example of what she calls substance, and then I'll give you some real substance after. You know, the substance that has like math, science, physics, measurements, real things, not just feelings. Yeah, that kind of substance. But let's hear what she has to say first.
It's not really a hot take, though. It's just really discrimination. Because what your comment tells me is that you think it's okay to discriminate against those of us in larger bodies. You think it's all right to expect anyone above a certain size to pay more for their clothing, whilst everyone between a size 0 and a size 16 or 18 pays the same. That's hypocritical at the very least. And let's be honest, it's not actually about the price of the fabric. It's not about the cost of the manufacturing. None of you really give a shit about that. All you want to do is further stigmatise larger bodies. Because let's just imagine a world where all of your favourite high street brands suddenly decided that your favourite jeans were going to have a price increase per size. So even you at a size 10 has to pay more than somebody who's a size 6, 4, 2, 0. How long do you think that would last before you're all up in arms about it? But it's okay to do it to those of us in larger bodies.
Hot take. A lot of straight size people would have no issue if we paid by the size. If a 0 was less than a 2, if a 4 was more than a 2, if a 6 was more than a 4, etc. We wouldn't care. Why? Because it actually does not cost that much more to go between the straight sizes. It's like 25 cents more or 50 cents more. It's really not a big deal. But the difference is it does cost more to make plus sizes. There is a drastic curve upwards in the sizes when we go to plus size. I talked about this in a previous video, but regular sizes go up in a straight line like this, whereas plus sizes, they take an upward turn and they go really, really, really big, really, really fast. And that means a whole lot more fabric. When brands get into plus size clothing, the pattern pieces stop fitting on standard fabric sheets. and thus they have more cutting waste. They also have more labor minutes, and they also have to hire more fit models. Seams need to be reinforced too. There's a lot of extra labor that goes into making plus-size clothing. This is not invented. This is manufacturing. And I did my research, as always, because I don't like to invent numbers. And I compared the manufacturing of 20 different products in a size 6 versus a size 24. So I'm not even manipulating the numbers by choosing 5x. I'm using a 24, which is about in the middle of the plus size range. And when I look at the numbers, yes, plus size people are overcharged on certain items, but they're way undercharged on others. And that is how the manufacturers of plus size clothing balance out their profits. So yes, they may be overpricing your tank top, but they're underpricing your sweater. It does cost more to make plus size clothing. And more, we hear these fat activists pushing for cute clothes in their sizes. Well, cute clothes often have lots of embellishments on them, and embellishments cost time to add to clothing. Even if it's done by a machine, you still need to reset it. It still needs more sequins. It still needs more of everything. And as we can see from the graph, something like a structured dress is going to cost way more to make plus size than it does regular size. So plus size brands are eating the cost that it takes to make your cute clothes by overcharging you for your tank tops and leggings. I know it's not a perfect system, but I don't think it shouts discrimination. I think this is just commerce. Plain and simple, it's commerce. So now on to why I think that size inclusivity is really overeating enablement. First of all, we have to face facts. Overeating is a maladaptive behavior. It is, okay? It's not normal. It is a maladaptive behavior. And the consequences of all the other maladaptive behaviors cause the person to perhaps change. At least it's a point of reflection. At least it's a point of, I've done something wrong, I need to change. For example, an alcoholic might get a DUI. That's a point of reflection of, maybe I shouldn't drink and drive. Maybe I drink too much. Someone who's an overspender might max out their credit cards and get them taken away. Well, that's a warning. You have a problem. Someone who's a gambler might gamble everything and lose their house. Again, an indication you have a problem. But with obesity and overeating, well, your clothes get too tight, just buy a bigger size. That's easy. And going up a size is never a point of reflection and think, wait a minute, maybe I'm not living my life the right way. Maybe I am doing something wrong. Because all the other maladaptive behaviors have societal guardrails that keep us in check, that let us know that we have a problem before it gets out of hand. Now, I'm not saying the other maladaptive behaviors can't get out of hand, but we certainly have societal guardrails that keep us in check. And obesity used to have this guardrail. Back in the 1980s, do you remember the Special K pinch test?
This is the Special K pinch. So is this. If you can pinch more than an inch, you may need to watch your weight. Let's see it again. Try Kellogg's Special K breakfast. It's high in protein, high in taste, but low in calories. Try the Special K pinch. And if you can pinch more than an inch, try Kellogg's Special K breakfast. Details on every weight-watching packet.
Now, if that aired today, I'm sure a lot of people would have a problem with it. But it told the truth. An inch of extra fat on your waist is not good. So it did tell the truth. We are no longer allowed to have the guardrail against obesity. It is now considered harmful to tell the truth. Just imagine what the world would be like if we coddled all the other maladaptive behaviors the way that we do obesity. If we enabled alcoholics the way that we do overeaters, we would have drink breaks at work. We'd have bars in the hospitals. We'd have drinking lanes on the highways. When you see your friend has had too much to drink, instead of stopping them and taking their keys, you would yell, "Yes, Queen, go get it!" I mean, the world would be absurd. If we coddled overspenders, there would be no credit limits. Everyone can go in debt. And debt collectors would be known as bullies. There are consequences to actions. And the consequence to overeating is obesity. And as obesity climbs, more health conditions can ensue, and you get closer and closer and closer to death. With all the other maladaptive behaviors, we have warning signs. Warning signs that it's time to change. But with obesity, we just keep on moving the yardstick of when we have to change. Clothes don't fit? Make a bigger size. Seats too small? Make the seats wider. Walking hurts? Use a scooter. Doctor wants to weigh you? He's fat phobic. I mean, we have removed all of the societal guardrails around obesity that by the time that someone knows that they have to change, it's often too late. I envision this size inclusivity like a car driving around. And on the flat, the car passes size markers, small, medium, large. Then they turn a corner and they start going up a cliff. And as the car goes up the cliff, they see 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x off in the distance. And someone should be screaming at them at every size marker, turn around, you're going too far. But they just keep climbing up that cliff until they go off the cliff and they hit 6x. And by then, it's too late. Why are we not warning people at these size markers? Turn around, you're going too far. By adding all of these sizes and making all of the sizes seem normal, we are removing the societal guardrail around obesity. And then people don't get help until it's too late. Honesty isn't cruelty, silence isn't compassion, and comfort isn't kindness. Kindness is shouting stop, turn around, even when people call you mean or a bully for saying it. My name is Lydia, and this is the Body Honesty Project. And if you like this video, please subscribe.